Asajj Ventress is alive, and what do I think about it? Well, mixed reviews. Personally, this was a character that was, if you don't know, really special to George Lucas's daughter, Katie Lucas. She worked on a ton of episodes of the Clone Wars, and she was pretty upset when the Clone Wars wasn't going to be returned, wasn't going to continue in production, and it was canceled by Disney, but she's happy about Dark Disciple. And she wrote a really nice foreword in the book about Asajj Ventress and how she's actually going to get kind of, the ending that she deserves because she never got to complete her in the Clone Wars. And she wrote a ton of the episodes for Asajj and a lot of the other characters, namely the female characters, because she really likes resilient female characters. And Asajj is literally one of probably, I'd say after Darth Talon, or maybe even in cahoots with Darth Talon at the same level, she is probably the most badass female character in Star Wars. More than Ahsoka, in my opinion, but that's just me. So, is it a bit of a slap in the face to Katie Lucas now that they've brought Asajj back? I don't really see it that way. I see it like, she probably wanted Asajj to be very prominent and alive, and the end for her was just, the book. That's all that she could get, kind of thing, that she could, have some influence in where Asajj goes from here. So, a lot of fans are really pissed off. A lot of fans are happy. I myself am pretty happy. I think it's, ridiculous, of course, that they retcon a major book moment. But that at the end of the day, because we have, no good female characters really anymore left in Star Wars. It's just Rey, Reva, which are horribly written characters. We have Ahsoka, who her character arc, let's be real, is amazing. But it's pretty much tapped out, it's maxed out from here. I mean, you've made her a god at this point where she can't really die. And it's confusing to me in that sense where it's like, okay, well, where do you go with a character like that? Now, with Asajj, she has probably some of the most interesting, compelling character development that we've seen. She was a Jedi. Then she was apprenticed to Count Dooku. She was a separatist. Then she went on her own path. And she became a bounty hunter, and now she's doing her own thing. She's like a rogue. I can't even say Jedi or Sith or anything. She's like a rogue Force user that has adapted all aspects of the Force. She is literally the coolest female character in Star Wars right now that we have. So I'm happy that she's back because it's slim pickings out there. What do you want, Rey, Reva? No, you don't. So we want a really well-written Star Wars female character who has the Force, who can use the lightsabers, and just be badass. And is ruthless, is not, as stoic and kind as Ahsoka is, where she won't really bend the rules sort of thing. I like the fact that Asajj is a little more teeters on the dark side, and she's not afraid to, get her paws dirty, you know what I mean? So, I, for one, am happy about it. I can understand people's anger with the book being retconned. It was a beautiful death. I'm releasing a video that will go over her entire death in perpetuity. But as for right now, I understand why some people are pissed, because it's like, we had this understanding of her death, which was a beautiful death that she gave herself. She jumped in the line of fire to save her love, Quinlan Voss, which was the book was like a love story, but it was honestly so much more than that. It showed so much of Quinlan and Asajj, and it was so synergistic in the way that how both of them just fought alongside one another, didn't trust each other in the beginning, started to have deep moments with each other on Dathomir, and really grew together, and then fell in love. And I thought it was a really great story. And for them to change that, I understand. But at the same time, I want to see more Asajj. And they're going to hopefully explain how she survived. At the end of the book, from what I remember, there was some sort of a fountain that she was put into as the fountain of youth, a fountain of life. Not youth, fountain of life. And we don't know what happened to her after that. She could potentially come back, which she did. So that might be how she survived. However, I understand people are pissed, but at the same time, you have to remember the one thing that George Lucas said. The first 6 films and the Clone Wars are canon. Everything else doesn't matter. So no books, no comics, no video games. None of that stuff really exists in George Lucas's mind. The first 6 films in the Clone Wars That's his thing. That's what he looks at. So, in his mind, in Dave Filoni's mind, Asajj isn't dead. You know, and as weird as it is for me to say that because the book was so great, nothing in the books or comics are really... We just can't take them at face value anymore when they say this is canon. Like, okay, this is canon for right now. It's a placeholder until they decide to change it in live action or in a cartoon. You know? So, first and foremost, movies, cartoons. That's it. Games, comics, books, they don't matter. They're irrelevant, really, at the end of the day. So, yeah, you know, I think that it's really a good thing that Asajj is back. Well, I can understand people's frustration. I think that we need this character. To have just Ahsoka and now Sabine is going to be truly lame. So this adds another element that goes into the Ahsoka Season 2 show as well as the Mandalorian show. Mandalorian movie. And whatever else Dave Filoni is planning for the culmination of all of this to come together. I, for one, am very excited for it. I think Ahsoka is a very talented and cool character, but she doesn't have the level of gravitas and the level of, what's the word here I'm looking for? Badassery? She does, but not to the level of Asajj. You can't, when you compare the two, Asajj is up here. Just because of the things she's done, the choices she's made. The fact that she was a separatist, she was trained by Dooku. She was also trained by Jedi. She's done it all. She's a bounty hunter. She's done it all. She is what every powerful female character should be, right? Not Reva, not Rey, who hasn't gotten any training whatsoever, is just given everything like that. Reva, who survives no matter what, you know, and knows things that she shouldn't know. Asajj has gone through it, and I think she's put her pedal to the metal, and she's really been a testament to the story and to the Clone Wars. So I would love to know what Katie Lucas thinks about this retcon, you know, because she did obviously have a big say in the book. She did have a big say in Asajj's story in the Clone Wars. She wrote for the Clone Wars for, I think it was about 10 years or something like that. So she really would be the person that, like, I wouldn't say created Asajj, but had like a heavy influence on Asajj's character and where she goes. And I'd love to know what she thinks. I don't know. I haven't seen any statements from her yet about it. It's a little too early, but I wanted to get my word out there on what I think about Asajj returning. I understand it retcons the book, and it was a beautiful book. Really beautiful book, Dark Disciple. But I'm happy she's back. I think she needs to be back. I think Star Wars has slim pickings right now with powerful, cool female characters. And I think we need Asajj in there to really make it interesting, make it fun. So that's my thoughts on Asajj returning. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. May the Force be with you always.